is very bad. Yeah, I'm live finally. Let's see. Okay. So this is much better, but yeah, this is much better. So welcome to another amazing episode of the Friday Night Hangout. I'd gone live much earlier, but I had to jump out because the network wasn't really good and they couldn't hear me. So I do hope you can hear me this time around. We're having conversations on health and wellness for this month of June. And coincidentally, I'm actually broadcasting from a hospital. I'm not sick though. I'm not sick. Just routine stuff. Oh my goodness. Okay, just routine stuff. So I'm not home yet. This is where I was hurrying to get to. So I want to just conclude on the train of thoughts. Thank you so much. Roma, nice to have you come back in. Okay, so like I was saying before, I had to go off because of the network. I'm going to be talking about mental health, and tonight I want to leave you with one to I run off, right? Remember, I tried to explain what mental health is. I don't know if you did get that because I got some complaints that you weren't hearing me. So just to reiterate, when we talk about mental health, we're looking at all the spectrum of your mental health, which is your psychological health, your psychological well-being, your emotional, and your social. So sometimes we tend to forget that our social health has a bearing on the kind of life, the quality of life that we have. So if you say that you like to live in isolation, you don't like to interact with people, it's definitely going to impact on your happiness, it's going to impact on your sense of satisfaction because God did not create you to live in isolation, right? And so this week, tonight, I want you to start looking around you for yourself and for loved ones. What can you do differently? How can you ensure that you're more stable emotionally? So, one of the key things you can do is by understanding who you are, what drives you. Some of us don't even know what makes us happy, what triggers us. We all have triggers, and our triggers are different. Certain things that will make you feel angry, sad, would not make me feel that way. So, you need to know yourself. If you don't know what triggers you, how then can you avoid those triggers? How then can you deal with it? I would rather say deal with it because I always try to talk about dealing with issues rather than living in denial or running away from it. How do you deal with frustration? How do you deal with anger? How do you deal with the loss of your health? How do you deal with the loss of a job or source of income? All of these things are what can impact on your mental health that will push you to the other angle. Now, in Nigeria, currently, most of us are buying fuel per liter for like 487 to 550 or 600. And it's affecting the quality of life, right? It's affecting the meals that come into the family. It's affecting even family, moving around with vehicles. Some people have resorted to parking their vehicles and going with public transportation. So you find that a lot of things are happening. What are your coping strategies in a time like this? How do you make sure that it doesn't draw you to the other end? You don't allow it to make you feel sad, feel depressed, feel unnecessarily agitated. Some persons are already, feeling agitated because they can't afford the kind of lifestyle they used to afford 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. This was a sudden change a lot of people did not plan for. So how do you cope? Are you going to talk about increasing staff salary? How then do you talk about increasing income? So there are a lot of issues we're dealing with. And if we're not deliberate or intentional about talking about them, looking for possible solutions, it can affect our mental health. And if you're not stable mentally, a lot will go wrong. You'll find yourself feeling depressed most times, feeling sad. You would move away from feeling grateful. You'll be grumbly, you'll be grumpy. Sometimes you may even be lashing out on people, projecting on others. So it's important that we start looking at this issue. Sadly, I have to go because I'm at a place where I can't talk for long. I didn't plan to be here. And this is also part of what we're talking about. How do you cope when unexpected things happen? I didn't expect not to be at home by this time. So I didn't expect to still be on the road by this time, but I'm here. And I had the choice to either feel frustrated, angry, overwhelmed, or I could decide to just show up and explain, take some few minutes, and then repeat this conversation next week. And I chose to do the later, right? And that's the same thing. Every time you're going through a situation in life, you always have a choice. You have a choice. Make use of that choice. Make the most out of it. There would always be a silver lining in every dark cloud. It's almost impossible to have done this, but I said, let me show up for a few minutes rather than not showing up at all and kickstart the conversation. Next week, we'll conclude the conversation. So, what is one thing you're going away with tonight? I want you to think about it. What is one thing you're going to go away with tonight? What is one thing you're going into this weekend with? One of the things I'm moving away with into this weekend is still calm in the midst of unexpected circumstances. And I want you to take that or more. Do you have a support system? If you don't, now's the time to start thinking about having one. And just know that you have a choice no matter what. So I hope you got one or two things from a quick conversation tonight. And we're going to have a repeat of this mental health conversation next week, Friday. And until I see you next week, Friday, stay blessed. And always know that I love, honor, and celebrate you. Have a beautiful weekend. Thank you so much, Iroma. Iroma says to stay calm. Awesome. Awesome. Stay calm. No matter what happens, stay calm. I said, you want to say hi to people? Let me. Okay, I don't know if you can see her, Daisy. Let me come this way so you can see. Okay, everyone. So that's the reason why I can't continue. She's not sick, she's just having a routine. And so just to share with you some of the unexpected things you can have. This wasn't meant to stay up to this time. So just stay calm, stay blessed. I love you all so much. And we'll continue this conversation next week, Friday. And from my Daisy and myself, let's see if you can I see her? Oh, let's see. Okay, these are Daisy. Hi. Okay, so for my Daisy and myself, it's bye, right? Okay. So we love you all, and I'll be with you next week, right? Bye.